Hello guys, welcome back to the Pepcoding. So in this video, we are going to discuss our next question, that is count distinct elements in every window of size k. So in this question, we have given array and number k. That k represent the size of window, and we need to tell how much number of distinct elements are present of every window of size k. Okay. So the first window is starting from 2 and k is 4. So the window size is 4. Okay, when we are starting the window from 2 to 6, we need to tell how much distinct element are present in that window. So in this window, the distinct elements are 3, 2, 5 and 6. 1, 2 and 3 distinct elements are present. When we are starting our window from 5 to 3, the distinct elements again 3. When we are starting our window from 5 to 2, our distinct elements is 4. When we are starting our window from 6 to 3, 3 is repeated in this window. 3 is repeated. So for that, our our count for the distinct element for this window is 3. When we are starting our window from 3 to 2, 3 and 2 are repeated. So for that, our count for the distinct element is 2. When we are starting our window from 2 to 4, 2 is repeated here. So 3 number of distinct elements are present in this window range. When we are starting from 3 to 5, 4 number of distinct elements are present in this window. When we are starting our window from 2 to 2, 2 is repeated. So because of 2 is repeated, 3 number of distinct elements are present. When we are starting our window from 4 to 2, 2 is repeated here. So again 3 number of distinct elements are present. When we are starting our window from 5 to 2, 2 is repeated for the 3 times. So 2 number of distinct elements are present. When we are starting our window from 2 to 2, so 2 is repeated for 4 times. So only one number of one number of distinct elements are present in this window. When we are starting from 2 to 3, 2 number of distinct elements, and the last window that we can make from 2 to 6, because the window size is 4. So this is the last window that we can make. 2, 1, 2 and 3. 3 number of distinct elements are present. So we can solve this question by using map, frequency map, and one strategy, that is acquire and release strategy. So we need to return the count of every window in terms of array or vector array or array list. So now our strategy to solve this question is first acquire, after that print, and after that release. Okay, release. So for acquisition we are using I, and for the release we are using J. So basically in this question, in this strategy, we are initializing our map, frequency map, as a element versus count, how much number of times the element occur. Okay, so our I is here. For solving the question by using this strategy, we need to push, or we need to insert our k-1 element into our map. This is our map. So for solving this question by using this strategy, okay, for solving this question by using this strategy, we need to insert our k- element into our map. So 2 is appear for the first time. So we can say that element 2 is appear for the first time. k-1. So I plus 5 is appear for the first time. Okay. Now again 5 is appear. So we can increase our count at this point. So we are inserting our k-1 element into this map. Now let's talk about this. I for acquire, J for release. So we are initializing our J as -1, J and -1, and for acquisition we are increasing our I at this point. Now we can say that in between I and J, our I at this point, in between I and J, the 4 number of present, 4 size of window are present, 4 number of elements are present. Okay, in between I and J, 4 number of elements are present. For acquisition, we are increasing our I, adding this into our map. So 6 is appear for the first time. Now printing the size of map. So we can say that in this window range, 3 number of distinct elements are present, because 5 is repeated in this window. So for the printing, we can say that map dot size. That means three number of distinct elements are present from for the first window, that is starting from 2 to 6. Okay, now for the release, update J. When we are updating our J, we need to release this from our map. So 2 is for 2 is here, and 2's count is only 1. Now for repeat this repeat this strategy whenever I is less than this condition. Okay, I is less than array dot size minus 1. Now for again acquire, I is at this point, again 4 size window in between I and J. Acquire, for the acquisition we are checking is map contains 3 or not. It is not contains 3, so 3 is appear for the first time. Now 4 size window, printing the size of map, that is 3 size. In this window, 3 number of distinct elements are present. For release, updating our J at this point, 5's count is 2, so we have to decrease our count by 1. That is 5 is present for only one times in this map. For this, at this point 5 is present on only one times. Okay, again acquire, update our I at this point. Now 4 size window in between I and J. Acquire this, 2 is appear for the first time. After that, this is the 4 size window. Again printing the size of map, that is 4 size. After that, updating our J and releasing one element. So releasing 5 from this map, 5 is only one times. Okay, releasing this. After I will repeat this. After that, I plus plus, again 4 size window. Update our 3 as a 2, because of 3 is already contains in that map, so we are only increasing our count here. Okay, 3 as 3 appears here for the 2 times in this window. 3 is appear for 2 times. Now printing the size of map 3. After that, releasing, J is at this point, J is checking, J is release the 6 from the map. J is releasing the 6 from the map. After that, repeat this I plus plus, 4 size window, 3 is appear for the second time. So after acquisition, printing the size of map, that is 2. J, after that release, J is at this point, J is checking, 3 contains 2 times, map contains 3 for the 2 times, so we are decreasing our count for the 3 by 1 and update I. So again 4 size window, 4 appear for the first time. Okay, again 4 size window, 4 appear for the first time. So we printing the size of map, that is 3 size of 3 elements are present in that map. Okay, after that release, J is at this point, J is checking for the 2 is appear for the 2 times, so we are decreasing it by 1. For we can say that 2 is appear for the only 1 times when we are checking for this window. After that, acquire I plus plus, this is the window size, K size window in between I and J, and adding 5 with 1. 5 appear for the first time, so 4 size window, again printing the size of map. After that, releasing. Okay, releasing, J is at this point, 3 is appear on for the only 1 time, so we are removing 3 from that. After that, I plus plus and checking is to appear for the first time or not. 2 is already there, so increase the count of 2 and printing the size of map, that is 3. After that, J is at 2, so J again decreasing the count of 2 by 1. After that, acquire for the next, so 4 size window, acquiring 2 into this, 2 is appear for the second time, so we are increasing our count by 1 and printing the size of map, that is 3. After that, releasing this, 4 is appeared for the first time, so removing 4 from this, updating our I, so 4 size window again. 2 is appear for the third time, so we can say that 2 is repeated for the third time here, and our windows number of distinct elements that are present in this window range is 2. Map size, that is 2. After that, releasing the 5 from this, only 2 are present. Now update our I at this point, 4 size window, 2 is appear for the fourth time. Okay, and the map size is only 1. And now release j add of j, that is we are decreasing our count of 2 by 1 and updating our I is updated, 3 appear for the first time. After that, print, that means map dot size. Okay, after that, release, j is at this point, so j are checking is the count of 2 is 1 or more than 1. So if it is 1 more than 1, then we can decrease it. If it is only 1, then we are removing that from the map. Again, our I at this point, 6 appear for the first time. Okay, 6 appear for the first time, and we are printing our map size, that is 3, and updating our j at this point. Okay, so this is the approach to solve this question. So let's code for this question. So let's start with the code. Let's make it full screen, increasing our font size. Okay, so we are using here a acquire and release strategy and a frequency map. So unordered map, int versus int, that contains the arrays element and how much times it is appeared. Okay, and map. Now we are initializing our I at 0, and first we need to insert the k minus 1 element into our map. So I is less than k minus 1. Okay, so is our map already contains that array of I is not equals to map dot end. Is this okay? The closing bracket at this point. If this condition is true, then we are only updating our count. Okay, because we are saying that at this point the element is already present into that map, only increase the count of that element for that element. Okay, so at this point, okay, 5 is appear for the first, at this point 5 is appear for the first time. Okay, let me erase this at the okay, for now our I is at this point. Okay, I is at this point, so I is appear for the first time, and we are increasing our count. So we are checking is our array of I is already contains in the map or not. If it is contains, then we are only increasing our count. Okay, so this is the line that we are increasing count, and if it is not present, then we are insert a new pair of array of I with count of 1. Okay, so after that we need to increase our I by 1. So at this point, at this while condition, at this while our I, so our k is 4. Okay, our k is 4, so I is 0 at this position, and we are going to this, and we are checking array size. Let's say array is 1 2 3 4 and 5, and this is our map. Okay, is map contains contains array of 0? No, it is not. So we are inserting array of 0 with count 1. That means array of 1 element with count 1. Okay, after that we are increasing our I, so I is 1. Now after that we are checking is array of one, sorry, array of one contains into our map. No, it is not. So we are inserting this with count 1. Now I plus plus, I is 2 at this point. Okay, and we are checking is 3 is already contains. No, so we are checking, or we are inserting that 3 versus 1 into our map. So after that I again plus plus. So we only want I minus k minus 1 element into this, and I is plus plus at this point, and when we are checking I is less than k minus 1, so it falls and we are at this point. So our I is 4 at this point, but we want I 3. Okay, so for that we are writing here I minus 1. Okay, I minus minus. So at this point, okay, at this point, okay, at this point, from this point, we are starting with, okay, let me take it. From this point, we are starting using the acquire, print, and release strategy. From this point, we are starting with this. Okay, so we are in point we are putting our j at the minus 1, and we need to return a vector of int answer. Okay, so at this point we are starting with while loop from I is less than array dot size minus k minus 1. So first condition, we need to acquire we need to acquire. Okay, after that we need to do some work. So we are returning the count of the distinct element uh, into vector array. So after that release also. So for the acquisition we are increasing our I. First we are checking is our map dot find, is our map contains array of I, is our map contains array of I. If this condition is false, if this condition is false, then we are only increasing the count of that count for that element. If it is not present, then we are inserting a pair with array of I with count 1 into that map. After that, after this point, we need to do some work. What is our work? So we are initializing our vector array as an answer. So answer dot push back, what we are pushing back, the map dot size. We are adding the map dot size into vector array. After that release, for the release we need to update our j. For the first we are checking what we are we need to check the frequency of that element. So we are checking the frequency. So it this line get us the frequency for that element, and if the frequency is 1, then if the frequency for that element is 1, that means if the count of that first element, so let's say that if the count of for this element is 1, then we are removing this. Then we are map dot erase uh, array of j. So we are removing that from the map. If it is more than 1, then we are just decreasing the frequency minus equals to by 1. We are just decreasing the frequency for that. If our j is at this point, 5 is appear for the 2 times, so we are just decreasing by 1. Okay, so we are just decreasing by 1, and from this point we need to return our answer array from this point. Okay, so this is the code. Let's try to run it. So map dot find. Okay, we are writing it as find, not a find, it is at end. Okay, let's try to run it. So it is run for this test case. Let's try to submit it. Will it be pass all the test cases or not? So all the test cases are passed. So let's try to run it, dry run for this code, what we are doing here. Okay, so this is our array. Okay, this is our array, and let me snap of this code into our open world. Okay, so this is our array and k. Okay, and this is the code. So for the first time we are initializing our map. So this is our map. Let's assume this is our map, and uh, we are inserting the k minus 1 element into that map. So I is 0 for the first time. I is at this point, and it is checking is the 2 is already present. If it is present, then only increase the count, but it is not present, then add 2 with 1, 2 with 1 count. So 2 is appear for the first time. After that, increase I plus plus. So I plus plus. So we are now at the fifth. So it is also not it is not present in the map. So we are inserting that with the count 1. Again I plus plus, I it at this point. It is already appeared, so we are increasing our count by 1. That means 5 is appeared for the second time. Now again I plus plus, again I plus plus. So we need to make sure that our I is at this point. We need to make sure that our I is present at this point. So for that we are writing I minus minus at this point. Okay, we are writing I minus minus. After that, okay, after that we are initializing our j at this point, and j is at minus 1. After that, we are, for the acquisition we are increasing our I is at this point. We are checking is already present. It's 6 is already present. It is not present, so we are inserting that with the count 1. After that, this is the 4 size window. After that, we have some work, that is answer array. So we are inserting, we are push back the map dot size 3 size into answer array and releasing. For the releasing, first we are increasing our j. So j is at this point. We are checking the frequency of this point, how much time it will appear into the our map. So its frequency is 1. So if its frequency is 1, then we are erasing this. So we are erasing this from our map, and after that again acquire I is less than array dot size. Yes, I is less than array dot size. So acquire, for the acquisition we are increasing our I here. This is the 4 size window. Okay, we are checking is 3 already present. No, it is not. So we are making a new pair with count as 1. After that, answer, adding the map size into answer. Okay, after that, for the release j plus plus. So we are checking the frequency of map. So frequency of this element is 2. So we are into else. Now we are checking, we are decreasing the frequency of the 5 by 1. So this is the work we are doing again and again, and updating our map size into this. So 333, and returning the answer array from this position. So this is the dry run for the code. So I hope you understand the question and the solution of this question. Thank you for watching.